Hey students and parents, this time for ELA, we're going to be talking about conflict in literature. So when we're reading any kind of story, and even in some picture representations, there's always going to be conflict. And conflict is always a struggle, and it's between two opposing forces. So let's talk about external conflicts. External conflicts happen outside of your body, and there are a few different types of external conflicts. Our first type of external conflict is called man versus man or person versus person. In this case, our protagonist or main character struggles against another character or maybe multiple characters. In these pictures here, it shows some people sword fighting. Now, it doesn't always get that dramatic. Man versus man or person versus person just means that somebody opposes our main character or protagonist. Our next type of external conflict is man versus nature or person versus nature. So in this case, the conflict pits our main character against nature. It could be a flood, it could be a wild animal that's after them. It could be something that's in nature that's opposing or making it difficult for the protagonist or main character in our story. Our next type of external conflict is man versus society or person versus society. In many stories, our protagonist or main character battles against possibly the government, maybe a whole group of people, and this is larger than man versus man. This is against a whole group or against all of society. Many dystopian stories follow this same conflict, where our main character focuses on a really messed up world or society and struggles against it. So next we have internal struggles, and this comes from within the mind or the heart of our main character. So this can take the form of the character struggling to overcome fear, maybe addiction, emotional damage, or some kind of personal issue that they're struggling with internally. You can see this in many stories. So let's practice. Let's go over some examples. Now in this case, it's pretty simplified, and we're just going to be looking at pictures. What I want you to do is look at the picture and decide what type of conflict is going on. Let's try it. So let's look at this example together. We have two people. Looks like they're arguing. It's a person and another person. What do you think the conflict is in this picture? Well, it's man versus man or person versus person. They don't look too happy with themselves. Hopefully they can work it out. What about this example? We have a person, he's scratching his head. Maybe he's trying to make a decision. Maybe he's trying to decide if he's going to do something good or maybe not so good. What kind of conflict is this? This is man versus self or person versus self. He's trying to make a hard decision. What will he choose? I don't know. Here's another example. This guy right here looks like he has to get over the mountain. That looks pretty hard, and he doesn't have any gear to climb. What type of conflict is this? Well, it's man versus nature. Good luck to this guy without a coat and climbing gear trying to get over that mountain. I hope he makes it. What about this example? This is a picture from history from many years ago. This happened in China, in Tiananmen Square. This person right here, part of a larger protest, stood in front of these tanks as they were rolling down the street to protest the government's actions. He's resisting. What type of conflict is this? This is man versus society or person versus society. This person had the courage to stand in the face of the whole government and their tanks and guns to say what he believed in. So that's some information about conflict in literature. We talked about the two types, internal and external. We talked about the types of external conflict, and we went over some examples. I'll be posting this video as well as slides and practice pages for you to work on. And if you'd like to Zoom with me over this lesson, just click on the link in Schoology.